Can I be personal here? Like just one-on-one, you and me. I am terrified of my Switch breaking. I'm terrified of like one day I have to send my Switch to repair and all my save data for like Splatoon is gone. I think Splatoon 3 honestly needs cloud saving because there's no reason I spend hundreds and thousands of hours on this game and I can't save the data to make sure that I don't lose all that precious time and effort that I put in. Imagine trying to get the perfect gear you want, you finally get it, and then your Switch breaks and you have to send your Switch to repair and Nintendo says, hey, we lost your save data, unfortunately, but hey, it's on the cloud. And you look at them like, what do you mean? Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 3 isn't on the cloud. I honestly need Splatoon to have cloud saving because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be stressed for another 4 or 5 years, however long Splatoon 3 lasts. If you agree with me, you gotta subscribe in the next 5 seconds. It's the only way I know you truly agree with me and think that Splatoon 3 should have cloud saving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, glad you subscribed or didn't, you know, whatever. Not all of us want cloud saving. Not all of us want nice things in life. Splatoon's been out for like 7 years. Splatoon 2 for like 4 to 5 years. There's no easy way for me to say this. Let me skip the damn news. Like, just let me skip the news. I've been playing Splatoon for longer than I've been in school, like college. Just let me skip the news. There's no reason I can't. I'm sorry. Just let me press the X, the A button, something that just like goes, okay, we're done. I don't need to know. I don't care what the rotation is. Most of the times I already know what the rotation is before I even got on. So why do I need to watch and bear through the news once, let alone twice? Because you know what happens when you like boot up the game at the end of rotation. The game goes, oh, hey, here's the rotation. And then, you know, rotation cycles. So then you got to watch the news again. It's the worst. It's the worst. Just let me skip the news, avoid all headaches, and just not deal with it. It should have been a feature added to Splatoon 2. Just add it to Splatoon 3. How many of us have tried sitting down to play our favorite game called Splatoon and we get this unfortunate message? Or worse, we're in a 1v1 our opponent and they're teleporting between here and Mars. Or they splat us even after we already splatted them. I want Nintendo to upgrade their server to a 4-piece toaster. At least, you know, 4-piece toaster is good. It's fancy. It's classy, if you will. Fire and a pan for a server work for Splatoon 1? Sure. An easy bake oven for a server work for Splatoon 2. Come on, Nintendo. Give us something a little bit crispier, a little bit nicer, you know? Give us a microwave even. I'll take that for a server. Just something that's not an easy bake oven for a server or whatever Smash Online is. I think this should just be a mode that's kind of offered to all players. I want there to be like a playable tutorial mode for the rank modes, you know, like just something that eases you in and gets you to know what each of the ranked mode is. Like, for example, you play a quick little like 2-minute tutorial on like how Rainmaker works, how overtime for Rainmaker, Splat Zones, Tower Control works. That way when people join ranked games, they at least have a better sense or a better idea on how these modes work. Let's say you're like out of Splatoon for like months, years even, and you want to get back. This is a nice way to kind of just reteach you the basics and get you back into knowing how does Rainmaker work, how does Tower Control work, how does Splat Zones work. Modes like this work really well, and especially explaining new modes, even like we had with Clamblitz. People that are new to the game are able to then like learn these new modes, not the readable stuff we have now, the actual playable, load me into a custom like map or arena, whatever for that, and let me just figure out how to actually play and how the tutorial teach me how to play these modes. And I think that would be fantastic for Splatoon 3. While we're talking about rank mode, honestly, get the non-rank modes in there. Like, let's get Tower Control, Blitz, let's get all these modes to be non-ranked modes too. Like, some days you just want to play the game and not stress, and you don't want to just play turf war, or you don't want to just play ranked or salmon run. Some days you just want to chill and play a rotation for fun. Let me play my Tower Control, Blitz, Splat Zones for fun. Let me play these games casually. I think that would be a lot better, especially for like the people in the community who just want to play Splatoon but don't want to sweat and don't want to constantly worry about their ranks. I think this is a really nice way for them to just do it. I want there to be a quick play mode, something that just lets them just not worry about ranked and just casually play. You want to practice your charger on like Splat Zones? Here you go, play this non-ranked mode. You're able to practice a little bit. It won't be the best, but it's some practice, you know what I mean? It's casual, it's laid back. Now, on the other hand, for rank, all right, how many of us have tried playing a game and we have like 3 chargers on our team? Or we have like a Hydra, an E-leader, add a random sploosh for like clan blitz. It's not fun. It's not fun to play with. I want to be able to just change my gear or my weapons before a match starts. Like preload the teams, right? Like the same way you do in private battles. Preload the teams. Let me see what my teammates are picking, and let me just go, all right, cool. I see that this person wants to play charger. I'm gonna swap off and play sploosh. I'm gonna swap off and play something else. Let me at least change my gear so that I don't have to deal with 3 or 4 dynamos on the same team. I'm at least able to go, all right, cool. I'm gonna change my gear. I'm gonna change my weapon. You ever sat down and try to grind like gear? You ever try to like just play hours of the game just for gear? It's not fun, especially like later towards the game where like you have some snails, you have a ton of money, you're capped out probably, and you just making gear is a pain. Like I've made like a few pieces of gear and I've used that for every weapon. It's not smart, it's not good, but I'm lazy to make gear. Let me just use that to buy chunks. Let me buy that to re-roll my gear. I think Splatoon 2 should have allowed me to buy chunks on top of just being able to use it for snails. Like give me the ability to minimize the RNG in my gear with money. I think that makes it a lot better, and it makes it a lot more accessible for people in the community who want to get in Splatoon and want to, let's say, play competitive or want to have better gear. It's easier for them to do so. Back in my day, oh god, I sound old. Back in my day, we didn't have ouch. We had booyah. If you died, all you would do is spam booyah to make sure that somebody listened to you and someone knew that, like, you know, someone was on the flank or someone died. We've come a long way. It's been 7 years. Give me more communication option. Let me at least say paint. Let me say come this way. Let me say slow down, or like no, or like some options that allow me to communicate with my teammates rather than just simply going booyah, booyah, booyah. Look, I don't want voice chat. I just want better ways to communicate with my teammates and have them at least follow directions a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like there have been times where all we need to do to win is just paint, but we don't paint. You know what I mean? Like let me spam that button to tell them paint. Let me spam that button to tell them, hey, this way, or hey, don't go that way, retreat. Little things like that go a long way. The training room is awful. Let's be honest here. It could use a lot of work. I think one thing that's honestly we can all agree on is let's be able to change our gear like mid training sessions. Like I hate the fact that I have to quit, reload the training session just to be able to test different gear out. Let me quickly change and test out how many different sub saver affects me. Let me see how many subs of swim or run speed affect me. I don't want to have to get out, go back in. The same way I can change my weapons endlessly and just swap. Let me swap my gear too. There's no reason I can't. Like have it all there listed by abilities. So let me swap. I think that would just go a long way to just like fine tune and be able to test out the gear you want a lot better, to be honest. And if I'm putting all this time in my outfit, I want a picture mode. I want an ability to just take pictures with my inklings. Like it's kind of Splatoon 2 now, but it's kind of tied behind amiibos. Just let me have a mode where I could just take pictures with my teammates. Have a mode where I could just take pictures even with myself. Just an ability to show off inklings or octolings in a way that hasn't been shown before would be amazing. It would help with like thumbnails, you know what I mean? Like getting thumbnails for YouTube or like content creation, or to even just like getting referencing pictures so you can send to your favorite artist and being like, hey, I want an OC or a picture in this style. And it just helps the artist. It goes a long way in the community and it helps a lot, especially when like your team photo can actually be all 4 inklings posing next to each other. That would be rad. That would be awesome. I want things like that to just be a part of Splatoon 3. You know what I mean? Not behind an amiibo or like you need a subscription for it. Just a mode that's part of the game that just lets me go, hey, I want to take gear. I want to make it look, because how many times have we actually like tried to look good and like just let me have a style mode, a picture mode, share it on Twitter. I would love to just see on social media. And to go perfectly along with this picture mode, your inkling or octoling gotta have the best hairstyle. And for that, I suggest this video. Go watch this video, go figure out what the best hairstyle is, and make sure that you actually have the best hairstyle and the best drip for if Splatoon 3 drops a whole picture mode.